If you have an Instagram account, you've probably definitely seen this book on your feed somewhere, somehow. You cannot get away from it. Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King is today's book review, and I am very excited to speak to you about this. For those of you who are looking into either buying this, maybe getting an audiobook, or just wondering if you should even give it your time and effort, I will be delving into that today. I'm also going to be going into who is Vex King and sort of, what does he do and whatnot. But this is completely my opinion. This is not sponsored. This is in no way, gifted to me or anything. I was given this book by a friend for my birthday. And you know what? My initial reaction was, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to receive this book because so many people are reading it on Instagram and people are talking about it so much. But I kind of thought, because I was quite far into my spiritual journey, that this might be too much of a beginner's book for me. But boy, was I wrong, and I want to get into it today with you. I'm just really excited to talk to you about this book because, as its name, Good Vibes, Good Life, it has given me a lot of good vibes. I don't want to give away any spoilers of how I feel about this book, but I am very excited to speak to you about it today. So let's get reviewing. I hope this book review helps you. Let's not waste more time. Let's get straight into the video. As always, hi, welcome to Temple of Sunshine. If it's your first time here, this is a channel all about spirituality, law of attraction, leveling up your life, good vibes, good life, and whatnot. And if you're interested in all this content, then please do give this channel a subscribe. Not only does it help me out loads, but it allows me to achieve my goal of 2021, which is reaching as many people as possible to teach them life doesn't have to suck, and also that they could be living their best life, and I'm here to teach you. So please do help me on my journey by subscribing and liking this video. But without further ado, let's talk about Vex King. So Vex King has sort of published this book here, and I don't really know who he was before this book. I once had a colleague ask me, oh, do you know who Vex King is? And I was like, yeah, because immediately the first thing that popped into my head was this book, like the picture of this book that I see all over Instagram all the time. And even people who aren't into manifesting or spirituality, I see reading this book. In fact, this book is so magnetic and so popular that I was reading this on a pool lounger in Portugal back in June on my holiday, and I had two girls ask me about it. That's how this book is bringing people together. That's how famous this book has gotten. And trust me, you know what? I think it is well deserved. I really do think Vex King deserves this fanfare around this book. I think he has simplified concepts of changing your life for the positive and made it more digestible and easy for the common man to understand. If you are a common man, right, someone who's not into spirituality in this context, when you open an Abraham Hicks book and you see them channeling some spirit called Abraham, you're going to run away. When you open a Wayne Dyer book and you see it's lengthy, very difficult to read, yet very deeply spiritual concepts, you're going to run away. If you open up The Secret and you see that there's people out here manifesting, terminal illnesses away, you're going to be like, I don't believe in this, you might run away. Then, Dr. Joe Dispenza, too scientific. Who else do we pick on? Deepak Chopra. These are all my favorites. Deepak Chopra, you open it up and it's like, you must meditate for 30 minutes a day. You're going to close that book and be like, I don't have the time. Vex King? This is for the common man, and this is also for those of you quite deep into your spiritual journey. And I want to delve into that. So I didn't really know who Vex King was before this. In the back on the blurb, he describes himself as an Instagram guru, and that's exactly what I see him as. But this is published by Hay House, so obviously Louise Hay's publishing house. So he's obviously got in there and published a book with, the publisher that is publishing the great books of all of our time in spirituality, such as, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay's own books. Abraham Hicks, their publisher is Hay House. So he's got in there, and I think basically he's built up this Instagram account where he talks about lots of positive concepts and ideas. He posts a quote a day, and I did check out his Instagram, and I really liked it. It was very perfectly on brand. It had that gorgeous sort of feed. It wasn't all messy like my Instagram or certain other people's Instagrams that we all look up to. Like, for example, Deepak Chopra has no branding on his. I think he's changing it recently. But Vex King is very good at being that sort of social media voice of positivity. And where he's written Instagram guru, that's what I'm going to call him, because that's how I view him. And I think he's doing a great job spreading, you know, little quotes on Instagram. They're so shareable, so easy. So if you don't follow him, I would go follow him, because this isn't really my usual content. I think it's a bit too light for me, for someone who's quite deep into my spiritual journey, but I did go ahead and give him a follow because it's so nice to be consuming his content, because his energy is amazing. The energy he's put behind his book shines through on every page. I was on the plane, and within, I think, the preface or the introduction, I'd started crying. He really has some touching words in this book, and I really think this is a book that's really going to get into your heart. It got into my heart. Not a lot of books really get into my heart. You know, I've read books from all my favourites, like I said, Deepak Chopra, Dr. Joe Dispenza, but this is the first one that really sort of brought out an emotional reaction from me. It really made me feel tingles. It made me feel excited to manifest again. But you know what? It really made me want to change my life for the better. It really made me want to clean up my diet, practice self-love, put myself first. These are the things that, you know, law of attraction books aren't going to teach you. This is what absolutely Abraham Hicks tells you, to focus on your vibration first, or, you know, Wayne Dyer will teach you how to connect with the universe. But Good Vibes, Good Life was the first time a book really focused on telling me to put myself first, and not in a selfish way, but focus on myself, clean up my diet, get moving, make me the project. Not my business, not my relationship, not my friendships, not, you know, my future, but make me the project, make me my biggest priority. And I love that. So in this book, he talks about lots of modern day common scenarios where we fall into this trap of not really loving ourselves or not having much self-belief. This is in areas of success, love. He talks a lot about, you know, society's standard of beauty, Instagram, celebs, and how we feel about ourselves. He talks about how you should talk to yourself in terms of self-love. He talks about the fact that we should love ourselves unconditionally, and that doesn't mean completely being blind to all our negatives or blind to our bad habits, but saying to ourselves, I love you exactly how you are, but this is what you could do to improve. He explains self-love in a way where it's not toxic and you're completely avoiding, you know, all the negatives about you. You're like, yeah, literally, I am perfect. I'm amazing. Look at me. You know, I think a lot of the time when you watch videos on how to engage in self-love or how to love yourself more, a lot of it is just literally think you are completely, you know, perfect. And that's not the case. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We all have improvement points. And how he explains self-love is a great way to start. He really explains that you can love yourself, but also appreciate that you have areas to improve. But the difference between what you were doing before, where you weren't loving yourself, is when you know you have an area to improve on, is engaging a soft and kind voice and appreciating that you can take it slow and you can do it day by day. And I think he explains that great. And I think he really delves into why after a while, when you've got used to the law of attraction and you're really excited and you're manifesting lots of things, you still have a weird emptiness inside. You have everything you ever wanted. You've manifested everything after reading The Secret, Abraham Hicks. But then why are you feeling this emptiness, and why are your triggers still coming up? Also, why are you still feeling, you know, the same way sometimes? Like, let's say you've manifested lots of money, but you still feel lonely or you still feel uncomfortable deep down. He really addresses that point. He explains that without self-love, without filling your own cup first, without being your own source of happiness and validation, the law of attraction and manifesting and going after your goals and achieving everything isn't going to change anything if you haven't changed in here. You know, I can manifest my dream house, I can manifest my dream car, but if I've not healed the childhood traumas of not feeling good enough, or not feeling like I can do things, or not having self-belief, having the huge house and the huge car is just going to be me with the huge house and huge car, still not believing in myself, still not feeling good about myself. So nothing really is going to change deep down unless you commit to changing deep down for yourself. He does, of course, then talk about manifestation, but it's only one chapter, which I appreciate. A lot of it is accepting yourself, loving yourself, making yourself a priority. Honestly, I'm just reading through the chapter names, and this is a great book if you are like me, you've manifested the most amazing things in life, but you have a weird emptiness within. You've manifested the most amazing relationship, you have the best friends, you have a good career, and you like where your life is going and you like the present moment, but you still have a weird emptiness. You either haven't found your passion, or you're struggling with your self-love, your self-belief, or there's something in you that is beckoning for more. It's most likely going to be fixed by healing and self-love. That's at a stage where I am now. It's something that I've avoided for a very long time because I just thought it would slow me down from my manifestations and, you know, feeling good and good vibes. But he has some really good points. You must go within, you must heal that old trauma that's holding you back, and then you set yourself free. And Vex King has just done a brilliant job with this book. I cannot recommend it enough. It is a 5 stars out of 5 stars for me. I was not expecting to give it a 5 out of 5 just because I really did turn my nose up at this book initially, thinking, oh, what is a book called Good Vibes, Good Life that people are reading on Instagram going to teach me about spirituality? And it's taught me just to love myself, really make myself a priority. It's a very easy read. You can get through it maybe on a day at the beach because it's quite like easy reading. It's got a lot of illustrations. It's you know, quite large text and everything. It's not very wordy and thick, but that is perfect because sometimes you just need light reading. And Vex, the way he writes, the way he narrates is just of a normal guy. He's not trying to tell you that he's super intelligent or impressive or amazing or really spiritual. He's just written this almost like a normal man would, almost like your friend talking to you. And I really love it. I love the narrative. I love the tone of his writing. And I really love that he shares his personal experiences and stories. And they're very normal. It's relatable. It's of a common man. This is a great book also to read in between other books such as Think and Grow Rich. Let's say, you know, Dr. Joe Dispenza or whatnot. Like, both Vex King and Jen Sincero, the author of You Are a Badass, write in a way which is very just, you know, lighthearted, relatable, and they're common people, you know, they're people that we can relate to a lot. So I would always sprinkle in books by Vex King or Jen Sincero in between more heavy books that you're reading, which kind of sometimes make us feel like we have a lot of work to do and we have a lot of changing to do, you know. And we look up to the greats like Deepak Chopra and we read one of their books, we're like, oh, I have so much self-improving to do. Whereas when you read something by Vex or Jen Sincero, they make it seem so much easier, so much more natural, and they're much more relatable as people. So sprinkle these books in between your really heavy reading. Also, he has one more book out called Healing is the New High, and I will be definitely buying that and adding it to my list. I am currently reading You Are a Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm already hooked. Let me know if you guys want a book review on that. Comment down below. And yeah, so 5 out of 5 from me. I absolutely love it. It's really taught me to make myself a priority. It's taught me to love myself again, but in a different way to what I was trying to do before, which was just, I love you and you're perfect, yay, rather than now I can be like, I love you, there's things we need to improve on, but I don't hate the fact that, you know, you have things to improve on. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I love this book and I absolutely love Vex King. He's gained a new fan in me and I'll be buying Healing is the New High, and I'll talk to you guys about that soon. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, then please do like and subscribe, but also please send to a friend who is considering checking out Vex King's books. So thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Love you loads.